How's it going, guys? So we're doing a quick stream tonight on DraftKings and kind of going over some fantasy football um, strategy, and going to end up doing a quick lineup for preseason game this Thursday, or for the couple preseason games this week, and mainly Thursday. And at the end, I'll try and do a best ball draft on DraftKings, and so just want to give a shout out to Fantasy Holics. Sent a message out to them asking if they do me the honor of posting a link to YouTube and Twitch, and the good guys at Fantasy Holics said they'll be happy to do that. So big shout out to them. Got a huge following on Facebook, so that's going to help out a lot. I really appreciate the big honors in doing that. So appreciate you guys at Fantasy Holics. Go check out their page on Facebook and Instagram. They got some really good updates for preseason minicamp. Got some big injury updates on there through their page. So if you haven't followed them already, go ahead and do that. They're pretty good with keeping you guys up to date with injuries like that on Facebook. So give them guys a follow. So let's go ahead and get into DraftKings and see if we can build up a pretty good lineup for this preseason slate for week 1. All right. So the big difference with preseason is you really don't know exactly who's going to get the playing time. So it's going to be a little bit harder to try and build a true solid lineup for for this week, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see. Let's see. We'll just go ahead and try and do it. We'll do a $3 entry here. So I did see where Daniel Jones will be playing at some, that all starters for the New York Giants will be playing. So we'll probably go with Daniel Jones. And another thing about preseason games is everybody's going to be going to have a $5,500 salary. So it's really, you're not really playing for who you actually think is going to do really well, just more or less who you think is going to get the most playing time, essentially. So we might actually not go Daniel Jones. We'll probably go a second string quarterback of some sort. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go Tyrod Taylor. He'll probably get a majority of the snaps. Definitely not J.K. Dobbins. Haskins, he'll probably end up getting a good share of the touches for Tennessee during that game. Let's see. And again, this is gonna have zero real strategy as far as what we would typically do in a usual daily fantasy lineup during the regular season, just because, like I said, we do not have a clue on who's actually going to get the playing time. So with that being said, you're not even going for if the player's going to produce. You're just going for playing time. So let's see. Kevin Harris, probably not. I would also throw in there, you're probably going to see more from rookies if you can find them on here. I'll do an update and show you guys exactly how we panned out, how it panned out. So I'll show you the results if we ended up doing well or not. Let's see. All right. We'll go ahead and go Foster here. So we got our double stack. We'll still try and keep that frame of mind at least. For creating a lineup, we'll have a double stack bring back player. So we need to pick up a pass catcher for New England. Again, it's so hard to pick for a preseason just because you have no idea who's playing. I can't say that enough in this draft. So, and sure, we'll go Mike Davis. Maybe he falls into the end zone, gets us some good points there. So, yeah, really, you're not able to do too much with those. Just try and get your double stack and bring back player. Hope for the best. Maybe they'll have a shootout of some sort. All right, so let's go ahead and try and find this best ball draft and see what kind of see what we can do as far as building a good roster. So we'll go here. We'll go ahead and go in for the big tournament again. Another entry for the big tournament. All right, where are we drafting from this round? Pick 9. So, past couple times we've been going from the 6th and 7th position, so it's a little bit different. Still, not a huge difference as far as the kind of stacks you can build from that position, but we'll try and figure something out. Try and do something a little bit different from past streams. Go pick history. McCaffrey number 1. So I forget who had it on there. this week, or it might have been even today. They posted. I saw social media posts saying, "Who would you pick, JT, CMC, or someone else at one pick for a fantasy this year?" And I was actually surprised. A lot more people than I thought would pick CMC. Not that my opinion differs from that. I would pick CMC too, but just with his injuries the past couple of years, I saw a lot more people picking CMC than expected. So that's pretty interesting. And then seeing that here, so it's pretty solid. I think especially with Carolina getting Baker this year, it bodes well for what kind of production he can have. Not to short sell Jonathan Taylor, though. Again, not to short sell Jonathan Taylor, but the fact that Indy went out and got Matt Ryan just gives me the indication that they're going to try and air it out a lot more this season. So I could be completely wrong, but you don't go after a Matt Ryan and not pay him to not throw the ball, and pay him not to throw the ball. I'll go Kelsey. We'll go Kelsey there, and then try and pick him up in the third, which I think Mahomes is sitting around that 30 spot. He's at 34, so with the 16 pick, we'll probably go running back. I'm looking at Barkley or Fournette right now at that pick. Mike Evans already showing some injury with what I think I read a hamstring injury, and it's not. Of course, I have computer issues as soon as I go up for my next pick, so I'll lose my second round pick, basically because of computer failure. Wow, go figure. Who did it end up picking up for me? Okay, so we got Joe Mixon. All right, it's not who I wanted, but it could have been way worse. At least it happened early in the draft where you basically get away with it a little bit. Can't believe that. All right. So like I said, Joe Mixon here. I really wanted Saquon, but you can't help computer failures. So, as I said in previous streams before, sometimes you just kind of have to replan. You can't help it sometimes. I mean, you lose connection like that. You just kind of have to regroup and refigure it out, I guess. So. So I said I would pick up Mahomes in this third slot. So the thing is, at that ninth position, picking up Kelsey, having an opportunity to go ahead and reach up for Mahomes. The next viable receiver for the Chiefs there is like past pick 100. So you have all that room to pick up talent and not have to worry about securing a correlation within your lineup. So you don't have to worry about your double stack really. You have plenty of choices later on in the draft. So you can really focus in on picking up some really solid talent. Wow, Mike Williams actually fell to us. I mean, the three best offenses in the NFL right now: Bills, Chiefs, and Chargers. I mean, any player from those offenses you're gonna want. Bengals can be thrown in there too, to the top offenses in the NFL. So, I mean, the fact that he dropped that far is wild. That's a bit of a stretch for Brees Hall there. Gabe Davis a little bit, but again, kind of going back to what I was saying, getting any piece of those offenses with Buffalo, Chiefs, Chargers, maybe Bengals. I mean, you can't really go wrong, but I probably wouldn't have reached at that spot, especially with Williams being there, knowing that he's gonna pretty much get a fair share of the targets. Let's see. At 57. All right. So let's see if we can try and build another mini stack here. May not go for a full double, but we'll try and go for the mini. Did he get injured today? No. It's just weird seeing him drop an ADP like that. If he's there, I'm picking him. Otherwise, I'm probably going I might even go Kyler Murray, picking him up and then going for Hopkins later on, even though he's going to be out the first 6 weeks. And then picking up Ertz later on too, for the first for another solid tight end behind Kelsey. Past several drafts, I've been able to build up a pretty solid stack with Tampa Bay. Just how they're positioned, especially if you're drafting towards the middle of the snake draft. If you're I think out of the past 5 drafts I've done, I've probably picked from either somewhere in between the 5 and 7th spot, probably 4 out of those 5 or 6 times. And I'm pretty sure the majority of those times I went with the Tom Brady stack with Godwin and Evans. So I think I mentioned it in a previous stream too. Based on where you're drafting from, you already have a general idea of who you're going to be able to pick up and what kind of lineups you're going to be able to build. Like towards the end, excuse me. Like if you're drafting past the 8th or 9th pick, you can reach and get a Justin Herbert Charger stack with Williams and Allen, but you don't have to reach. Wow. I have to go Hollywood. I did not think he was going to fall. I still might be able to get Kyler. Dude, Dude, that would be insane. Getting a Kyler and Mahomes stack on the same squad for best ball? What? I think on one team I had a Justin Herbert and Tom Brady stack with Evans and Godwin and both Williams and Keenan Allen. I don't know how it happened. It was kind of one of those wild drafts that everybody was just going nuts early on. Wow. Kyler Murray fell to us at 64, and we got Hollywood. Wow. Watch this. We probably won't get we won't be able to get another player the entire draft probably that we want. Let's go. I wasn't planning on building a Kyler Murray stack, but I mean, if he's gonna fall to us like that, you might as well take advantage of it. Is Hop still there? And Hop still there? And while he's out, we got Mike Williams and Kelsey. Bro. Okay. I mean, it might actually happen too. So we're at the 81st. Then we got 88. Let me go ahead and pick up Sky Moore too. Put him on the queue. That way we won't lose track of him as easily. I have been known to do that in past streams, so. See if anybody's been reaching. Gone all the way. 18 pick reach there for Michael Thomas. Not even knowing if he's going to play this season. I mean, I get it, the upside's there. But seeing the news with Jameis hurting his lower leg like that and not even knowing exactly how that surgically repaired ankle is holding up for Michael Thomas, there's too many questions for me to reach 18 picks like that to go get him, especially with the talent that's there. I want Hopkins, but I'm sitting here staring at Renfrow falling. Do I want Renfrow or Hopkins? That's the question. I want them both. I'm going to pick up Renfrow, knowing that I got Rondale Moore later on in the draft I can pick up to stack with that Kyler Murray stack I got. As much as I want Hopkins. And I still might be able to get him if he falls. Which, if he falls, even better. That's the thing about DraftKings too. That, like, you'll have people just going bonkers with how they're picking. Like, underdog, it's pretty pretty standard. Like everybody pretty much follows ADP. Within 6 or 7 picks, you won't see people reaching like that one dude for Michael Thomas, 18 picks ahead, 2 rounds basically. Oh, no. All right. Hawkins just went. Dang. I thought he was going to fall to us. I really did. I really thought we had a chance there. But, all right, we're at 88. And I keep seeing this dude popping up on social media with Trey Lance. Obviously, the biggest question mark is how well Trey Lance will be able to do. I mean, this is basically his first full-time season as a starter. And we know the kind of genius, basically, that's going to be calling plays over at San Francisco. But with the buzz that's going on around Brandon Ayuk after pretty much being in the doghouse the first half of the season, I feel like the ceiling's super high, and he might be wide receiver 1 by the end of the season over Debo, just because of how versatile Debo is, even out of the backfield. So he might end up being wide receiver 1 for the 49ers by the end of the season. Shout out to Manning Jr. for your favorite team over in San Francisco. All right. So we still got Zach Ertz there. We may end up having to pick one of the two, Ertz or Scott Moore. Never mind. That's twice now. All right, we have to go Scott Moore now. Both of the biggest options for Kansas City, not named Scott. I've never had this many issues with my computer up until this stream. In the first stream I'm trying to do where I have a big page actually promoting me, we're going to have all these issues. Can't always help it. All right. So I did end up getting Scott Moore. I was able to make the pick on my phone, so we avoided disaster on that pick. All right, we're at 112. I like Robert Woods, even though he's coming off a big injury. He's basically going to be big man on campus for as far as a wide receiver core is going for in Tennessee. Honestly, we know who the big man in that locker room is. Wears 22. So, all right, we got to pick up a running back here soon. We're kind of running out of runway to pick up a solid running back. So, we'll look at Spiller. I like Mack for Houston. We could go for some insurance on our running back here. I like Mostert too. And Zamir White. All right. P. Ron. All right, loaded up for running backs in queue, just in case we have some more issues, but Let's go here. All right. Let's see. I mean, we got a pretty solid roster going right now. We got a good Mahomes stack, double stack, and then we got a pretty good double stack with Kyler Murray. So, I mean, it's looking pretty solid. Or, well, single stack with Kyler Murray. For some reason, I thought we drafted another one. That was me thinking we got Hopkins again. All right. All right, we did miss out on Rondale, so and he wasn't supposed to go till 30th or something like that, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 31st, and he went at 119. People will reach big time on DraftKings, so again, you can't help it. It's gonna happen. You can't get every pick. So, we're trying and salvage that stack. We can try and pick up Green later on. Solid veteran, hometown kid from the area I grew up. So, let's see. Did he take another injury? Not really. We'll go with the rookie. We'll just take him just because of who's throwing him the ball. I think a lot of that's kind of missed out as far as evaluating how good that offense is going to be for Green Bay this year. You know, yeah, Rodgers pushing 40, but I mean the dude's he's a back-to-back MVP winner. You can't take that away from him. We really need to put some work into running back, though. This is about to get downright ridiculous. All right, we're picking from 136. I know who I want to get, but I'm not going to say it because past couple times I've said who I want to get, they've went in and just like pulled the rug out from under me. Come on. Drop. Drop. Okay. All right. I know who I want to pick for the next RB that I have a chance at. Whether or not he actually falls to me or not, we'll see. Josh Palmer. I think I said it in the last stream I had. I think Palmer's going to have have a season very similar to what we saw last year from Van Jefferson, kind of being like that kind of like a sprinter's role and a red zone target. More so just a deep ball guy for that offense for the Chargers. But we'll see. I've read some articles and some mini camp evaluations saying he's having a pretty good camp this year. So I've picked him up a couple times in some previous drafts myself. So definitely hoping for a good season from him. I think I finished out a stack with him and Williams or Allen one because I can only get one of them in a couple of the drafts I've had. But let's see. Really kind of need to pick up tight end. I'm looking thin at tight end right now. Only got one so far. Really weak at running back and tight end right now. Not looking too hot. So let's see here who we got. Got Brait, Njoku. Not that I don't have faith in Brissett being a okay, perfectly fine quarterback for the Browns while Deshaun's serving up his suspension. I really think you're going to see a lot from him, especially in the red zone from Deshaun, who likes to do a lot of rollout passes and hit Njoku if he can find his way to the back of the end zone. I think you'll see a lot of production from him and Deshaun this year. I was looking at both of these running backs here to pick them up at some point. I also read an article today talking about how GM for the Raiders was talking about how he's not going to trade Josh Jacobs, which, I mean, you can believe him, but you're not going to draft a running back like White from a national championship team if you had that much faith in the running back you have on the squad now, especially for how long Josh Jacobs has been there. We're super stacked at wide receiver already, so we'll go tight end. We'll go with Tunyon, even though he may not be ready for week 1. But being that we got Kelsey there for 7 weeks, Tunyon should be back by then. So we'll go with Tunyon, being that he's going to be outside of Randall Cobb and Aaron Jones, I guess, if he can line up in the slot a little bit. I mean, they're going to be probably one of Rodgers' favorite targets outside of Lazard, which I think Lazard's already kind of locked up that number 1 wide receiver role in that offense already. And first team reps. If he's handling first team reps, that tells me that they're going to use ETN more like 49ers did with Debo. I'm going to pick him up. He might be the inside to 5 type running back, just kind of dive into the end zone. So I'll pick him up, and then I'll go Samir White later on in the draft. Pick him up late. My next pick is 177. and somehow I'll still be able to get Njoku. Is someone like watching this? Literally, that's like 3 or 4 times now I've said a certain player and they've been picked up immediately. That's like 3 or 4 times, legitimately 3 or 4 times. Not even exaggerating. I've said the player's name and he comes off the board immediately. So, alright, we won't get Njoku now. We'll find another tight end somewhere. That's so wild. Can't believe that. Well, for the same exact reasons why I wanted to get Njoku, Brevin Jordan. Pretty big target, especially in the red zone. He's all he's going to be is just a red zone target. That's where you're going to see his majority of his big time production. So, I mean, he's a touchdown dependent starting tight end as far as fantasy goes. You won't see him have a ridiculous amount of targets. I mean, he got more than 5 targets just once last year, and he's only put up 12.6, which was his second highest fantasy production day. But Cam Brate somehow fell down here. We're going to pick him up. As much as I was talking Jordan up, we have to go Brate. I'll take Brate with Tom Brady over, even as well as he was doing last season. I'll take Brady over Mills any day. And you know what? We may still be able to get Jordan if we really wanted him. But with the talent that's left on the board, we'll pass on that. So, I've also seen a bunch of posts about Alec Pierce. I've never heard of him in my life, other than reading the few posts and social media posts I've seen from minicamp. So, and what comes to mind when I think about that is something my coaches used to tell me all the time when I was coming up in high school. You're one play away from being the backup, or one play away from being a starter. And then it actually happened. But same thing for fantasy in most cases. I'll go Pierce, hoping that AJ Green falls to the next round. But then again, we really don't need another wide receiver, but I can't help myself. So I'm going ahead and doing it anyway. And Zamir White went off the board just now. All right. We'll still pick up another running back somewhere. Jamal Williams, if he doesn't go off the board immediately. Maybe. He's thinking about it. Ernest Johnson. That's a solid pick, especially after the rumors of Hunt requesting a trade. Even though the Browns denied it, I mean, in the NFL, anything can change. So, depends on how desperate a team can get, needing a legitimate starting running back in Kareem Hunt. I think I saw a post where it was a poll on who people thought would be the best fit for Kareem Hunt, and they had the Chiefs on there. As much sense as that makes, I'm not sure if Hunt would actually let that happen. But then again, the fact that they're basically going to be coming back with hat in hand, and you get to play on a team that's automatically Super Bowl ready. I mean, business is business. It might end up working out if he ends up going there, but I just don't see it. So while we're waiting for my pick to come up, still got 5 picks. Again, I want to give a shout out to Fantasy Holics for taking the time to actually share a link to the YouTube channel and allowing me to post my link for this Twitch stream, or the 3 other Twitch streams that that timed out or something happened with the internet connection or whatever. But I still appreciate it. That's a big help, and I don't take that for granted. So hopefully the guys that end up watching this video find value in it, and it can help them out during their fantasy football season. So again, shout out to Fantasy Holics. If you haven't followed them already, definitely go to Facebook and give them a follow. They have some great updates during preseason so far, and I'm sure they'll have great updates during the NFL season as it goes and progresses. So thank you again. Appreciate it. So AJ Green did fall to us. So with AJ Green, we go ahead and finish that stack out with not Kansas City, Arizona, with the Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray stack. So that's good. Got 2 solid stacks with Mahomes and Kyler Murray going into this best ball season. Let's see what kind of running backs we got on the board still. Not a whole lot. Ron, just because he's backing up Mixon, I'll go for Ron. If all else fails, especially towards the end of the draft, and there's really no value there to really go after a true productive running back, go ahead and insure the one you got already, your number 1 running back. So, like I said, even though Ron may only get like less than 10% of the snaps during the season, like I said earlier, 1 injury away from being a starter or gaining 25-30% of the snap share as far as the backfield goes. So just something to keep in mind, especially towards the end of the draft when the talent pool really diminishes in the running backs position group. So we got 4 running backs, 9 receivers, and 3 tight ends. We can see if we got any like high ceiling quarterbacks, and we don't. There's really not much there. You can try and go for Garoppolo, hoping that he goes to Seattle at some point with Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, which I would probably be more inclined to do so if I had one of them. But I think I'll just hold off from that for now. Same goes for Drew Lock, but I think I'll just pass entirely on them both. Could go Haskins, backing up. Derrick Henry coming off the pretty substantial injury last year. I know he played that one game in the playoffs, but he definitely wasn't 100%. So, which I've seen the workout videos on social media for Derrick Henry, and there's no way a guy that size should move the way he does. But he's a freak. He's an absolute freak. To see a guy pushing 300 pounds of just solid muscle move that quickly and be as strong and just freaking mean when he runs. I mean, to see the drill where he's like stiff arming the helmet on his stick, and like he sounds like he's about to break it off the whole or like snatch it out the guy's hands, out of the coach's hands when he's stiff arming the helmet. I mean, the guy's an absolute monster. But and I had a chance to go after him in a couple drafts, but I'm kind of hesitant after that injury. But man, I mean, the dude's just a freak. So I will go Haskins. Go ahead and get some insurance on Derrick Henry. Maybe he'll end up being a pass catcher running back out of the backfield, which would be a lot more beneficial in DraftKings, being his full point PPR on this site versus Underdog where it's half point. So there is that slight difference. We're pretty much set on all position groups, so really just go for the high ceiling at this point, which, I mean, Barrios. I've been picking him up as my last pick almost every draft. I don't think people really give him enough credit for what he was able to do last season when Zach Wilson was healthy. I mean, 80% of the time when Wilson was healthy, he got double-digit fantasy production. So another year under their belt, another year becoming familiar with each other in that offense. The upside's there for Barrios to have another good year with Zach Wilson, as long as he's not raiding some mama's book club on during the off weeks. But nonetheless, that's still a solid pick there for the last one of the draft. But so we got Mahomes, Joe Mixon, J.D. McKissick, Mike Williams, Hollywood Brown, Hunter Renfrow, Travis Kelce, Brandon Ayuk, Kyler Murray, Sky Moore, Robert Woods, Christian Watson, Tunyon, Robinson. All solid picks there. Then we're completing that double stack with A.J. Green, and then we're picking up a couple running backs as insurance policies for Mixon and Henry. And then to finish out the draft, going Barrios, and not to forget Cam Brate and Robinson as well. I think I missed those two when I was listing them off. But, yeah, so that's the best ball draft for tonight. Again, please follow the Twitch channel and go to the YouTube channel as well. Check out the videos I already have on there. This season, I'm going to try and do some 50-50 drafts where I actually create a lineup and have you guys basically cheat off my test and see if we can capitalize on some 50-50 contests and double up on some money. So, again, shout out to Fantasyholics. Thank you for sharing the link and giving me a slight foot in the door for a bigger audience. And thank you for for all you guys who watched the stream and check out a YouTube channel. I think it's just Will Reeves, and Twitch channel Will Reeves 14. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Come back.